Greetings and welcome back to my channel, The Divine Mind. It's Day. You are joining me for another episode of Messages from the Divine. Thank you so much for being here. I want to start by giving a shout out to my Divine Tribe on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. And if you are a subscriber, someone who watches regularly, likes and shares my videos, thank you. And if you're new, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So today's topic is, how do we increase our ashe? Ashe means personal spiritual power. So we're going to look into two areas. We're going to look at how the growth of your ashe or personal spiritual power may have been stunted or limited, right, in the past. And then we're going to see what you can do to build up to increase your ashe or personal spiritual power, okay? There will be a part 2 to this video that will give you more personalized answers and support in raising and increasing your ashe. That's going to be a pick a card, okay? And that's going to be offered on my website for sale. Okay, remember, this is a collective reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, check my website, daydreamaustin.com, or the description box below. So when I was preparing for the reading, the first thing I got in terms of stunted ashe, right, where the personal power hasn't been able to grow, is because some of you are spending way too much time pursuing other things. Like, you're not taking the time out to focus on your own personal and spiritual growth. And because of that, it's lacking or you're struggling in that area. There's a need to spend more time alone, spend more time in quiet contemplation, meditation, really checking in with the self. When you're not doing that, things kind of tend to move too fast, and you'll have a lot of stuff just going on in your life, and it makes it hard for you to really tune into self. So for some of you, that is what has stunted the growth of your ashe, is this like always moving, always ripping, running, moving forward, and not spending time in quiet contemplation. Some of you, your family dynamic and the family you grew up in really did a number on you and has caused your personal spiritual power to kind of be stunted, the growth of it to be stunted, for it not to expand in the ways that it could have if you were nurtured properly and if your environment was safe, and helpful. And that's not to blame anybody, but that did stunt the growth of your ashe, of your spiritual power. For some of you, the pursuit of money over everything else in your life is the thing that has stunted the growth of your ashe. For some of you, it's vanity. Like, instead of being focused on cultivating that inner power, there's a focus on cultivating the outer being, making sure you look right, making sure you have, the best brands, the most expensive brands to impress people, to make you feel worthy. For some of you, there's a lack of emotional maturity that has caused the stunting of your personal spiritual power. Like, it's stopped you from moving forward. Some of you are perpetually stuck at a younger age emotionally, probably because of some type of trauma. But those emotions, that heavy emotion, that immature emotional response to things, has stunted your growth, has stunted the growth of your personal spiritual power or ashe. For some of you, and I keep getting this, so I know there are a couple of people who watch where you may have some type of addiction to a substance, and that substance abuse is what has blocked your personal spiritual power. For some of you, there's someone in your life who has really talked down to you and has made you feel really badly about yourself. And so, in a way, that's blocked you from being all that you can be. You know what I mean? Like, it's really blocked you from even seeing your own personal power, from seeing how powerful you can be spiritually. They have said things to you that kind of ring in your ears again and again. Really horrible things. This could have been a father figure, a male in your life, also a woman. This person was very like sarcastic, oh wow, cutthroat. I'm hearing. Yeah, you had somebody very toxic around you who may have even siphoned some of your energy and called it into themselves. And now you have to call your energy back, but someone has taken your spiritual power and you're lacking it. For some of you, your ashe, the growth of your ashe has been stunted because of this devil energy. There's toxic relationships, toxic behaviors, toxic ways of thinking. For some of you, I'm seeing this is cultural and societal, where there's been things that you've picked up from just being a member of society, being a member of your culture, that has really bound you and kept you from growing in the ways that you could have. This could be a belief system that was passed down to you, like some people will teach that as demonic to practice spirituality, right? Like you can be religious and you can follow religious figures as long as they are the religions that people consider the right religions. And if you deviate from that, you're demonic, you're the devil, you're wrong, That has stopped some of you from expressing your full self, expressing your full power. Just a reminder, if you're interested in part 2 of this video, which is an exclusive pick-a-card about how you can increase your ashe, check out the description box below or my website, daydreamalston.com/store. Ashe! For some of you, this may be an entity that's attached to you. This could be someone who has gone on to the other side, but they still have an attachment to you. This can be an entity that followed you in when you were born, that has just held you back. You can break free of this. Don't ever feel like you can't. Some of you might have a special case where you need help from a spiritualist, but many of you would be able to do this on your own by just doing your inner work. But something has been a blockage to your growth, to the growth of your ashe. Okay, before we go any further, I just wanted to let you know that if you are interested in a personal tarot reading, personal Ifa or Ifa-Orisa reading, if you're interested in joining my Patreon where you get the first look at these videos and other exclusive content, ebooks, online trainings, please check out my website, daydreamalston.com, or check out the description box below. Let's look at what you can do to increase your ashe at this time. Some of you need some rest. Like straight up, you need to rest. Stop moving around. Stop ripping, running, going to this, going to that, doing this, doing that. There's a need to lay down and rest, to take some time out. Some of you need to stop replaying harmful memories and thoughts from the past, and you have really bad, really harmful self-talk that's blocking your ashe. If you can stop that negative self-talk and start to just see things in a more optimistic light, right? Like when that negative self-talk, which is like the little demon on the shoulder, comes and starts talking shit to you, just say no. Don't dwell on what it's telling you. Don't accept it. Don't affirm it. Just let the shit pass, because that, in doing that and doing it consistently, you're actually going to build your ashe. For some of you, like really focusing on your life purpose is going to bring your ashe up, like significantly. Not only will it do that, but it's going to bring money to you. For some of you, there is someone who has been trying to give you advice or give you something. This is a trusted figure, not just like some random person or somebody you're not too sure about, but there is somebody that you can trust that's been trying to give you something that would increase your ashe. For some of you, it's spending time in nature, like really spending time in nature, spending some serious time outside in nature, in natural settings. That will increase your ashe. Stay off your phone. Some of you are too attached to devices and screens. And then the things you're looking at are bringing your ashe down. So there's a need to release that so that you can grow spiritually. In order for your personal power to grow, for your ashe to increase and grow, it's good for you to, for some of you, I feel like volunteering, doing things to help others. It makes you feel like a valued member of society. It makes you feel like you're contributing something good to the planet and its inhabitants, and that builds your personal ashe. It also is like helping balance out your karma. For some of you, in order to build your personal spiritual power, there's a need for you to be just very balanced in all things. Like, be very moderate. Don't allow yourself to overdo anything. There's a need to be, I feel like some of you give too much and you need to balance that as well, because while you're giving, and it can be money, right? It can be help. You're the person everyone can call to help them. That's, nice and everything like that. But sometimes you do it to your own detriment. And that, again, is a way of siphoning your power, your spiritual power, in order to build that up. You need to be very careful about how much you're giving to others. For some of you, there's trauma, heartache, heartbreak from the past that has stolen your ashe, that has really brought it down. There's a need to heal your heart. Once you heal, and healing doesn't mean you forget everything and everything's great, but it's like working through the emotions that came with certain experiences. Working through that is going to build back up your ashe, your spiritual power, because some of you had a good amount of ashe. You got mixed up with the wrong people, or allowed the wrong people to kind of impact your view of yourself. And in doing so, it damaged your ashe. But you can build it back up by healing, by separating yourself from certain people. Again, negative self-talk, self-doubt is no good for your ashe. So you have to really work on that. For some of you, in order to build your ashe back up, there's a need to move passionately and vigorously towards things that build you up and lighten you up and help you to feel better about life. If boxing builds you up, if martial arts builds you up, if dance, if creating clothing, designing, painting, making music, playing the guitar, growing plants, farming, hiking, whatever it is that that builds joy and self-satisfaction, that's what you need to focus on, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Check the description box if you want to head over to part 2. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next episode. Ashe.